I'm a college science professor by day, just a lot more respected doing this. I teach earth science at the Fashion Institute of Technology. Thank you. It's not an institution that's really well known for its scientific rigor. But my favorite topic to teach my students is space, which is kind of ironic because as a child I was very scared of space because I was raised by wasps and they gave me too much space. Have you heard like how in space no one will hear you scream? In my bedroom, no one could hear me cry. I did love the taste of my own tears, though. So I was really disappointed when I first tasted cum. There are a lot of questions that I have for God, but one of them is certainly, why is my sadness so delicious? And someone else's joy so bitter? I was raised by atheists, but they sent me to Catholic schools because they were cheap. Both the parents and the schools were cheap. And I guess they give you a discount if you get to be alone with the priest. I'm kidding, I don't. Nothing happened to me, I'm a girl. But it was an interesting introduction to the world of religion, having had no history or background with it. In preschool, the first time that we had like snack, I started eating it before we said grace. And I remember one of the teachers came over and I felt this really heavy hand on my shoulder. And I looked and he had no thumb at all. So I started to scream. And then he picked me up with the thumbless arm hand and like threw me in timeout. And I think that's why I never really liked getting fingered. I remember in my religion class, I asked my religion teacher, who was also a nun, I said, why would God send his only son? Why not send a daughter? And she said, because nobody would listen to a woman. Or I think that's what she said. I was distracted by her tits. I am 42 and bisexual. That means I made fun of kids in middle school for being gay. That's how that works. I had a complicated path discovering my sexuality. I dated women for a while, and then when I decided I wanted to try dating men again, a friend of mine was like, you're gonna have to change everything about yourself because men don't like it when you're funny. But I proved her wrong. I found a man who was willing to hook up with me, and he didn't care that I was funny because he couldn't speak English. He did speak like a little bit of English. He was like, I like your ass. Which is like, come on, we've all heard it, right? Like every woman in here has heard, we like your, come on. Tell me something specific to me, particular to me. Be like, I love the way that you confuse fatherhood with disappointment. I grew up with two dads in the 90s in San Francisco. Thank you. It wasn't like a cool gay thing, just a dad and a stepdad. They took turns being married to my mom. They hated each other. I have a rich liberal dad and a broke conservative dad. So my daddy issues are just pretty much America. And lately my broke conservative dad has been unwell. He's been in the hospital. And thinking about, what it means to have a conservative man who's in danger, I've been thinking about it, and I think we should be nicer to Erica Kirk. Yes, we were like, she's not grieving properly. You're not supposed to set off fireworks at the memorial service. And I'm like, well, maybe she's not that sad. Because I remember being a little kid and playing in the living room, and I'd like have little cars, and I'd run one of the cars into another car, and my dad would be like, women drivers, And I would give him that Erica Kirk face. I grew up my whole life making that face, that really intense. That's the face of a person who has no thoughts, feelings, or ideas validated. And I can't get that joke to work. But as a woman who's not working, I feel like that's what Charlie would have wanted. I went to my first all-female sex party last year. That's pretty fun. Pretty exciting. Oh, didn't realize that would suck all the air out of the room. All-female sex party. Has anyone here been? Anyone been all-female sex party? Well, you gotta go. An all-female sex party is an entire night of talking. Like, I didn't expect to leave with such a warm heart and a dry throat, Dry everything, honestly. I'm kidding. We cried. But it made me think about, what it's like to be a straight man. I don't know what it's like, but I kind of imagine it's like this. Because I found myself going up to groups of women and just, mansplaining science. I'd be like, hey, did you know estrogen drives the olfactory system? Which is true, by the way. Do you guys know what the olfactory system is? Can anyone say it? I just heard a man be like, sure. Smell, yes. Oh my gosh, a lot of you did now. It's smell. It's your sense of smell. And it's true, the more estrogen in your system, the stronger your sense of smell, which is maybe why we weren't going down on each other. I did that joke in Vegas, and some guy hated it just as much as this whole side of the crowd. Some guy shouted at me from the crowd and was like, hey, we don't need all that. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, we don't need smart women. And I was like, only in Vegas would a man yell at a woman because her stinky pussy joke was too smart. Do you think it's better to try and fail or never try at all? Just shout it out. What do you think? Try and fail or never try at all? What do you vote? Try and fail. Universally try and fail. So you guys are all pretty locked in for this miscarriage material. Sorry. I will admit, it is a little undeveloped. I had a miscarriage last year, a week after getting an eviction notice, which means I got to write to my landlord and be like, well, the eviction worked on one of us. I'm sorry. Miscarriage jokes are very messy. The delivery's always off. It is a common thing, though. It's very common. 1 out of 5 pregnancies ends in a miscarriage. And I really think that we should have more songs. The last time that a song really nailed the experience of a miscarriage, the song was written in 1996. Does anyone know what that song was? 1996. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I've been very proud of this joke. A lot more proud than I was of what inspired it. And if you guys think this is too much miscarriage material, you would have hated my bathroom. But But I was watching another comedian's Netflix special in which she describes her miscarriage. And we had one of the tags, one of the lines that we say is a little similar. And I can't tell you what it's like to go through one of the most difficult experiences of your life, spend time trying to shine some light on that, and then discover that it is in fact hack. Okay, you guys. But I don't know. I am a single mom, so you win some, you lose some. I'm fine. It's okay. I have a... You guys hate that I have a kid. The Upper West Side is so weird. I feel like you guys are like, ew, why would she keep it? But I love him, okay? He's great. He's autistic. I never did Tylenol once. Homegrown. Proud of myself. He goes to a school where all the kids are autistic. They're all wonderful. They're all amazing. This is the first year that he's been coming home and talking about a girl at school. I know. He'll be like, I saw her at lunch today. And I did not know what to say. I will try my best tomorrow. And just like the cutest thing. And then I met this little girl and I was like, oh, hi, how are you? And she was like, is that your real hair color? And I was like, no, it's not. And then in response to that, she was like, do you like cats? And I was like, I had one when I was a little girl. And then she goes, what happened to it? And I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm going to try my best tomorrow. My son has the most amazing way of looking at the world. Like if we're walking outside in New York and it's raining, he'll be like, what was that? That was such a crazy... We all heard that collectively, right? That was like if the... I swear to God, every time I talk about my son, I feel like these things start like zapping. Like I feel like God is like, you don't understand what autism is. I really don't think I do. I think about it all the time because I come to these things. I go to comedy shows, and I don't know why. Like, there's so many 20-year-old comedians that have to talk about autism. It's like being told not to look at the sun. I don't know what it is. They have to talk about it, and they don't talk about it well. It's very infuriating to listen to it as a mother. Like, who am I? You know, like, I don't know if I understand it any better. Like, I once did Molly at this all-night vampire warehouse party in Brooklyn. And that was less disorienting than a play date with another autistic child. Because basically, whoever has less language is just bludgeoning the other with a Buzz Lightyear. Did you say that's so true? Are you also a mother to an autistic child? You work with autistic children. Oh, give it up for that. That's amazing. That's so cool. What age? 2 to 22. That's a wide range. Do you work with them one-on-one or in like a group setting? In a clinical school setting. That's really cool. Do you do like a specific thing or like speech or OT or something like that? ABA. Oh, you're an ABA therapist. Oh, very cool. How do we feel about it? How do we feel about it, Upper West Side? Is this like talking about vaccines, or half of you like, ew, it shouldn't be ABA, it's supposed to be DBT floor therapy? This is so inside autism right now, you guys. What did you say? The Denver method? I don't know what the Denver method is. What is that? Really? Oh, I'm learning so much. I'm so glad I did this. I was also an ABA therapist for a while before I had my son. I feel like I got trained in how to navigate it. We're just having a conversation now. I've completely. But it's like it's a very different experience, right? Like when you're with children that don't communicate in the same way, it's very natural for violence to ensue. And then you go to like what is it called when you don't have autism? There's like a word. What's the word for that? Weird. If you do not have autism. It's boring, actually. It's boring. You go to like a boring birthday party, and my son, he has his own energy signature. He jumps and moves in a way that's unique to him. And another mom came up to me one time, and she was like, well, that must be so hard. He is so different. And I was watching her kid. I was like, your kid is just terrorizing the most melanated child on the playground, which on the Upper West Side is just an Italian kid, so I think I got the best one. I think he's really great. He says things that are fascinating to me, and he doesn't understand why I think they're funny. Like, recently he was like, so Mom, last century when you were a child. And it's true, I was a child last century. He also, one day he was coming out with me and we were doing some stuff, and I was like, hey buddy, we're gonna run some errands, we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And he goes, why? And I was like, oh no, it's just a saying, it's like a phrase, it just means you're getting stuff done, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And he's like, who came up with that phrase? Probably Jeff Bezos. It's pretty amazing. This past year I got engaged to a man. How crazy, right? How crazy. Yeah. To a really, really wonderful person. And I knew we were in a good place when early on in the first date, I spilled something on my shirt, and he reached into his pocket and he pulled out a Tide pin. And he goes, stepdad energy. So hot. It's like when you get your titty signed by a Tide pin, guys. The other day I was like, hey, you want to have sex? And then he just was like, yeah, sure, and then played video games for 6 hours. I was like, stepdad energy. You guys have been amazing. My name's Katie Blunt. Thank you so much.